we looked back, and I did get the booster, um,
Mm-hmm.
which I had double Pfizer and Moderna booster, um,
Mm-hmm.
3 weeks to the day of the fall. Is there
Yeah.
anything that you've seen about time wise? Because when I asked the
Two
doctors
to two
about
to
that, and they
three
said, "Oh, normally." Okay, go ahead.
2 to 3 weeks. 2 to 3 weeks is where you see a lot of this
Really?
stuff. I have a friend that got the booster, and he got really destroyed by it. He still can't walk across the room. He's having all kinds of symptoms. There's a lot of funny stuff. We don't really know what it all is and where it's coming from, but it's still worth doing it. I'm not at the point where I'm saying that it's still worth the risk, but it's got a lot of funny side effects, and syncope, it's called, fainting is one of them, and I think it's from
Yeah.
the POTS syndrome, POTTS. And so, I was worried. What I
Mm.
wanted to check was to make sure you didn't have any evidence of myocarditis.
So I don't know if you know the history behind that video. I'm sure that you do. So Heather McDonald is a comedian, and what happened to her on stage went viral. So she was doing a comedy show, she was doing her routine, and she's talking about being double vaxxed and having her booster. And she's talking about how she didn't get COVID, and she was going around to these different countries and speaking how she didn't get COVID. And then she says, "Clearly, I am Jesus's favorite." And then right then, she faints on stage, just like passes out. It was really amazing. And everybody in the audience thought it was a joke because of what she said. And then she just, boom, goes down. And so the audience started laughing, but then she didn't get up. And she actually fractured her skull. And that's why she had glasses on in the interview with Dr. Drew. And so it was terrible. I mean, she had to go through all these scans, and, they were worried she had a stroke. And anyway, all this stuff. What's really incredible, though, with the interview with Dr. Drew is this. So Dr. Drew talks about, how people have had myocarditis, which is a heart condition. Like, it's a pretty serious heart condition. And then he talks about how people, he has this hypothesis that people are getting POTS syndrome, which I did not know what that was. And so I Googled it, and POTS syndrome is like a tachycardic event. So that's like your heart, that's involves like blood pressure and blood pumping to your heart and things like that. And it can cause all kinds of problems like fatigue, lethargy, excessive or reduced sweating, fast heartbeat, palpitations, shakiness, hypoglycemia, GI problems, shortness of breath, anxiety, visual problems, headaches, lightheadedness, or dizziness. So this isn't a joke. This can be serious. He believes that this is maybe being caused from all of this. So, okay. And he says, and then Dr. Drew says, even one of my friends who, after getting the booster, can't walk across the room, right? And what's interesting then, what's really incredible to me, is that he says, but everybody should still get it. Okay. So a lot of you know my story. I took the Depo-Provera shot 2 times. Now I live with a chronic brain condition called intracranial hypertension, or pseudotumor cerebri. I will take medication for the rest of my life. If untreated, I could go blind from this condition. It causes a lot of problems for me. I have to take anti-seizure medication, which, causes side effects for me. I have headaches almost daily. Sometimes they're debilitating. It's terrible. But I don't even have a case that bad, because I do know women that have gone blind from this. And so I feel very blessed that mine has not gotten to that point. And I pray that it doesn't get to that point. So I would never, after having gone through that, and it did happen to me because of Depo-Provera, I would never look at a woman and go, you know what, girl? I could go blind and I have to live on medication the rest of my life and I have debilitating headaches, but you know what? You should get the Depo-Provera shot. Like, that would be crazy irresponsible of me, but I guess it's just what we're doing now. I guess that's just the world we live in. I mean, he literally looks at her and is like, I know, Heather McDonald, that you like passed out on stage and you fractured your skull and you're wearing sunglasses right now because you probably have 2 huge black eyes. But I mean, like, totally, people should still get this. It's totally fine. I mean, my friend can't walk across his room, but like, totally fine. Everybody should still do it. That's how we live right now. That's how we live.